Oh, Crossroads?
And terrible cartoon as well.
Wait, that was a cartoon?
Wow, I'm late in the game.
How do you know this shit? Like, I never even knew that was a cartoon.
Yeah. It was a Fast and Furious cartoon, and it was a fucking terrible ass video game.
I knew the video game.
Yeah, the cartoon was trash. It was like,
I mean, after a certain movie, they all ended up being trash.
But you know what? Guess what? It had Dominic's nephew, another nephew. He got mad
another one.
He got mad
and
nephews.
another one.
It was crazy. Crossroads. Yo, did you see the other one? They made a sequel of that where it was Dom trying to find out his other cousin from his other nephew. His name was Badoo. We got family. Where's my yacht?
Shit, that motherfucker must have been in the Caribbean. I'm just saying, get the name. You know,
it's weird though when you talk about like Dominic Toretto. Like if we're talking about movie wise, like he's on a fucking like he's in a place where there's lots of sun. How come his boo don't got no tan?
I have no idea. But welcome back, everybody, to True Story Bro Podcast. We are the Geeks of Comedy, as usual, hitting it with you another week with a bunch of bullshit that sometimes we don't understand. What you say?
Okay, like that.
Like that. Tonight, I'm asking my boys here a question in honor of the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out in 2 months, month and a half, something like that.
About a month and a half.
Yeah, give or take.
So the question is, what video game would you turn into a live action movie? And how would you incorporate the story into a live action fitting? Or a live action setting? So I'm going to start it up with Sir Wednesday.
Damn right you are. And don't ever question me again. As soon as you told me what video game, you asked the question of like, what could I make a live action? The immediate one that I wanted to see, and because I'm a fan for a long time, because the Fury is Fatal, and I would like to see a fucking live action of Fatal Fury.
Good.
Oh,
good fucking shit.
How the hell would you do that?
It's gonna be like Tekken. Sorry, I couldn't hold it. It will
never be like Tekken. Fuck that movie. I watched it, and you know why? Fuck that movie. Eric Roberts. No, maybe that's DOS. Basically, underground fighting.
Terrible.
Underground fighting. The connection for the brothers would be kind of like how we mentioned it before in passing. If you ever see Vanishing Son, the conflict with brothers, growing up, being on their own after their father passed, shit like so. Think of it kind of like how Daredevil and his dad were, and then he ends up getting a mentor, eventually becoming Stick. Being Stick, and then using that to get better as far as fighting.
Yeah,
something along those lines with the Bogart brothers, and of course them taking very different turns because Andy was more traditional and Terry was more unorthodox by mixing multiple styles, and of course wearing jeans and a fucking life preserver jacket with a fucking cap threw motherfuckers off. They're like, oh, he's gonna be traditional. Nah, nigga, I'll go from this to this real quick.
Oh, so he's a buff ass Marty McFly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, we all know you need power for those birds to work on water. And he got power. So we basically have them come together. I'd say I had created a story that was basically Fatal Fury if they never had Fatal Fury. So I'm probably going to use little things in that story for this one. where it's like they have a great bond and a friendship, and it's not just their dad dying that brings them, that separates them. It's basically something like a friend, and basically they didn't get out of the way of their own pride, and then someone ended up getting hurt, and then that caused a rift between them, and eventually they went their separate ways. And then fucking they hear about this tournament because these motherfuckers are fighting still because they're trying to get their skills up. And of course, there's nothing more hungry than a fighter who's like, when my next fight is on some like Saitama One Punch Man shit. When you get that actual challenge, you're like, yeah, I want more. And they end up bringing them back together in like kind of like an area that they remember growing up in, which is Southtown, of course. We can't have a Fatal Fury game without Southtown or a Fatal Fury movie.
So I'm sorry. So my question to you is now, would you implement King of Fighter characters in there?
Good question.
I would start with the initial Fatal Fury first.
Okay.
The reason why is you didn't add this part, but I'm adding it anyway. I'm pulling a fucking hat trick out of my boy Overtime over there. I love you, red light having motherfucker. I will start with the main story being
like a trilogy or something.
No, not even a trilogy. I want to do the first 2 hours as the whole setup for the world, kind of like how John Wick 1 did.
Mm-hmm.
The brothers, they're fighting everything, and then they finally come together towards the end to fight Geese Howard. Yeah, everybody knows that name. And at the end of that, I want to put in the work to the King of Fighters TV show.
Smart.
You lucky I ain't got no Michaels. Too long to unscrew. Fuck it. I dropped it anyway.
Smart. I like that.
They see the brothers, them together, and basically bringing the beauty and the culture of martial arts on some kung fu shit, or even maybe warrior, which is out, and then having it be a part of the community. So it's like just like with somebody rooting for their favorite fighter in UFC, they talk about their favorite fighter on the street, and it always changes. And stuff like
that's
that.
dope. Okay. I see you.
Damn.
I see you with that.
Yeah, man.
Now, what do you say?
Don't ever question me again.
Now, okay. So you wanted so basically how you're placing it is that you just wanted the first movie or the movie to be focused just on the two brothers alone.
Mainly on them, but they'll still have the roster from the original Fatal Fury movie.
Got you.
So you'll see a Mai. You probably won't see her as like super Mai as she normally is. You get a taste, but you won't get the whole thing. And then you'll start getting further and further into it once the series goes.
Because would you do the ridiculous costumes, or would you kind of modernize it?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. Kind of like how, like, with Jessica Jones, when she pulled out the jewel outfit, she was like, I'm not fucking wearing this. Even though that was her original real costume in the comic. But I'll do something where it's like, oh, no, I'm not wearing this. And then do something a little bit more modern so that way I don't get my face blasted off.
I mean, Terry's costume is pretty...
It's pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Like, Terry and Andy is one thing, but like
Terry, Joe, and Andy, their costumes are pretty...
Oh, yeah, they're pretty easy. It's Mai's that would have to be updated.
Mai's is crazy.
See how your face did?
She's the bouncing ninja, as they call her.
Mai is loose.
Well, you can do it like the animated movie where she was in clothes, regular clothes, and then only when she gets ready to fight, she gets in her ninja clothes.
Yeah, but I don't know if you remember with the animated shit. In between that, she was totally buck naked until changing into that outfit. I mean, I don't think motherfuckers will allow that. Actually, they'll allow it, but they won't. They'll frown upon it.
For a movie like that, I mean,
shit.
Especially for people who know, because remember, these video game movies, they're gonna appeal like the old school OG players of those games. But when someone when production companies hear the word video game movie, they're like, oh, kids, they might want to see it. But then certain OG fans would be like, no, don't do that. What'd you say?
Yeah, fuck those punk ass kids.
No, but that's true. Like, screw them. Okay.
Indeed.
I'm trying to think of some other characters that are in Fatal Fury that might be a bit crazy looking.
You know what you can do? You can consult the Google.
The Googles. Yeah, you're right, because I'm right on Google, actually.
And Chris felt that. He was like, I felt that energy from here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of didn't like it. Could you tone it down a
bit? You remember the Duck King? The Duck King was pretty crazy.
Ah.
That motherfucker was crazy.
Oh, wait. Who would you get to play Joe? I just need to know.
that dude.
Tony.
Who would you get to play Joe? I need to know, because Joe's the man, bro. Japanese Muay Thai fighter?
I would love to do Tony Jaa, but I probably can find somebody newer that is skilled, but also, for the most part, even though they got characters that are of different ethnicities, majority of the characters are probably going to be speaking English, unless they're like saying some stuff in between the scenes, like kind of like how Firefly when they're cursing each other out in Chinese.
Right.
I would probably do something like that, but for the most part, it would be someone I'd probably do Japanese American just to stick with it. But if I find somebody who's good and there's not Japanese American, I'll just go with it and find somebody that's willing to collect that check, like our boy Kerry Haruyuki Tagawa, aka the Billy D. Williams of the Asian world.
For real.
He's got that smooth ass voice. Mortal Kombat.
Funny thing is, Maya is not even in the original Fatal Fury.
I believe she's in the second.
No, she's in the second.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the list now of everybody who's in the first one. I'm like, she's not even in this shit.
Nah, she wouldn't be introduced into a sequel. So
hell, you don't even have to introduce her until probably like the end.
I'll introduce her, but it'll be what they should have done in Birds of Prey instead of that insult that they did to Cassandra Cain.
Oh,
unforgivable. Like, introduce her as like, oh, she's just no big deal. But then you realize towards the end, oh, she's definitely a big deal.
Gotcha.
But they didn't do that because they're
dun, dun, dun.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. All right. That's awesome. Fatal Fury. I'm surprised the Japanese didn't make a movie out of that yet.
I could have sworn there was.
Oh, not a movie.
Well,
there was a King of Fighters.
King of Fighters. There was a King of Fighters show.
And it was the worst movie. Yes, worst movie. As far as like fighting game.
So it was the best of the worst ones.
Correct.
Got you. Okay. Understood.
Yeah, because Tekken and DOA and oh my God, those are trash.
I remember I walked into Roundhouse's house. See what I did there? Roundhouse's house one time. And this nigga was watching Tekken. And I looked at it and I looked at him. And I looked at it and I looked at him. I'm like, please tell me it's not. He's like, yeah, it's Tekken. And then I saw this dude dressed up as Hiyashi Mishima and I laughed because it looked as bad as
same tongue.
Yeah, I know. Same nigga. Kerry Haruyuki Tagawa getting them checks. I ain't mad at him. But what I am mad is the makeup and the fact that the movie was made. I would have been better you sacrificing a goat in the middle of your house than watching Tekken.
And DOA was a bunch of baby back bullshit.
The day I saw
it was. Jesus.
The day I saw a piece of that, I went to go see my dad, and I visit him, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Pop? And I'm like, what's this? And I'm looking at the screen, and he's like, Tekken, and I was like, and I'll see you later, and I left.
He hasn't seen his father since.
I haven't seen him since.
You know what's messed up about the whole Tekken thing is the fact that everything about it, but the only person they got right was Eddie Gordo. That was it. I was like,
yeah, let's see further.
Eddie Gordo and Raven, which was I was like, okay, costumes on point, looks on point. I'm like, okay, 2 characters. They made Jen get fucking like he needed power gloves to actually hit. I was like, oh my god,
what is this, a Nickelodeon?
That's what I was like, oh my god, it was trash.
It was
super trash.
Nigga in DOA.
I want to cry because I watched it.
I hate him. Anytime I see him in a movie, I just get mad. Him and Eric Roberts will ruin my movie-going experience. And Al knows exactly who I'm talking about. Al will be like, yo, there goes your boy. I'll be like, shut up, Al.
Now,
I mean, I was at Rhode Island Comic Con. I was about to record something and have him say hi to you.
Oh fuck it! I would have killed you in your sleep.
Speaking of Roundhouse, tell us your idea.
Well, let's see.
Well,
so
Great heart attack.
I was thinking about the video game I wanted to do, and I was like, damn, there's two of them. I would just do the one, and because I love this game so much, and I would love to see it in a cinematic movie. So the movie is God Hand.
I knew it.
Oh,
I knew it.
That would be
I knew he was gonna say that.
That would be.
I would love to see.
Ridiculous game, yo.
I would love to see God Hand as a movie. The thing I would actually get Edgar Wright, the one who did Scott Pilgrim versus the World, to do it, but it would have to be like God Hand would definitely have to be like rated.
It's called Story of Ricky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it would definitely have to be rated R because it's.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Who
would play him? Oof. I would still think about it, like who would actually be able to play him. And one person comes to mind. I was like, it's weird that I'm saying it, but I think Ryan Reynolds would be good.
What?
Or you know what? Even like I would want. You know what? Not even just Ryan Reynolds. Probably Chris Evans.
Chris Evans would be good. You know, what might work because of how much snot he'll have to like work out a little bit. I'll throw in Evan Peters because that nigga's hilarious.
Who?
Evan Peters, Quicksilver.
Oh, actually, Evan Peters, he got pretty big for American Horror Story Coven. I was watching that with my fiance, and I was like, oh shit, he got some big ass arms.
He got big for Kick-Ass as well. So yeah. So I mean, he worked with him before. So I mean, or Mark Millar actually be good.
The protagonist's name is Gene.
Yeah. I would actually, Aaron, he'd be good. But yeah, I would. The story, I would actually, because when you play the game, you don't really get like what happened beforehand. How do you get quick images while you're playing along? I would want to do like
very Tarantino-ish.
Yeah, Gene by himself, like kind of like Fist of the North Star. If you want to be technical, because in that world, it's very kind of grim. Mm-hmm. A lot of deserts. Even in when you play God Hand, it's kind of real grim deserts and stuff like that. But a little bit more, technology and whatnot. But it was still grim. I would actually do something like almost like Fist of the North Star, but explain his story in the beginning and then show how he got the God Hand, and actually show how the God Hand was made. Maybe show who made it and show how they got. What transpired for them to make this, the heaven and hell to make these arms, the God arms. So I would want to start with that and explain that, and then go right into Gene.
That would be pretty good.
I would be so upset if they didn't add someone getting punched out to the moon, bro. I'd be so tight.
They have to do that.
It would have to.
If I didn't see that, I'd be like, yo, bro, I'm done. I hate this movie. it could be the greatest thing ever, and I'd just be like, I hate this movie. They didn't shoot nobody to the moon.
What I would do in the movie too, like how he does a move and it freezes. Mm-hmm. I would actually put that in the movie too, and just have
credits.
I would actually want to do a movie that's completely different. I would want to do interaction movie, so you can pick what he does.
That'd be dope.
That's interesting, kind of like a Black Mirror thing. Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be like, so he freezes, it'd be like ding 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 ding, like a butt. Like I would want to set that up in a movie theater, like have a button that everybody press, like and whatever people pick, it'll be that thing that he does to them.
That'd be pretty dope.
Well, they already have something like that for like for video games. Like you can play whatever game that they have playing during the pre-credits on their phone. So that could work.
I want to do this inside, like during the movie. Like it'd be cool because it's also something to get interactive with the people watching. Mm-hmm. And also, Gene breaks fourth wall. So does a lot of different characters in that game break fourth wall. So it would be very interactive. That's how I would go about the movie. I like how the story is in that movie. I mean, the game, like the playing out with the devil hand and this and that. Like, I would have to explain the devil hand as well. That's the one thing too, because like, where he come from?
Exactly.
Are they brothers? Are they not? Whatever. You know what I mean?
Now remember, this thing would have to fit in like 2 hours. That's a lot of exposition.
There's a lot of action too.
So you kind of almost need to choose which to be more prominent.
Oh, it's gonna be action, bro. This is straight up like not so much story, but more action, and that's I wanted to reflect as much as the game is. Not too much, but a little bit.
I mean, because that game is like half, like you said, half Fist of the North Star, half JoJo Bizarre.
Yeah, I would certain characters would have to be in there, like certain people to play them. I would want them in there, like what was it? The two gay dudes. I would actually get the two gay fighters. I would actually want to get like some gay fighters in there, like some gay fighters, and like fuck him up.
You can get your boy that wrestler. I forgot what his name was. The one that was flipping around and shit.
Nah, fuck him.
You wouldn't. Isn't that like close to his style?
I would do Sunny Kiss and the Muay Thai. I would do Sunny Kiss and the I'll do Sunny Kiss and the UFC fighter, the lesbian UFC fighter, because she's a badass. I would do that.
Okay.
Just to give like, you know, switch it up a little bit. I would change the outfits too. I wouldn't be that flat.
That's risque. Gotcha. Who you going to get for Elvis?
Been thinking about it.
You should go.
Elvis. You know what's weird? I would just get like a straight up, because Elvis is a character. I would get like Eddie Hall to play Elvis.
Who's Eddie Hall?
He's a strongman. He's a strongman powerlifter.
Okay.
He talks a lot of shit,
Oh,
but he
that's
backs
perfect.
it up. So
Perfect, because that's what Elvis is.
Who would you get to play King Agra? The Devil King, the Demon King Agra.
Michael Fassbender. He's no matter what role he's in, he sells it, and that's what I need.
That is true. He does sell it.
I give you that. But yeah, that's man. I can just imagine that movie. That movie will be everywhere.
It would be crazy because like I would. It would be crazy. It would be amazing though too. But that's me. I'm done.
Okay.
You could see if you can get Stephen Chow to be an executive producer.
Who?
Stephen Chow. Kung Fu Hustle.
Definitely Stephen Chow.
Edgar Wright and Stephen Chow. Nigga, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. All right, Sokka, you're up.
All right. Well, in the realms of Capcom games, I actually like to see a Darkstalkers be done.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big. You know, I mean, I feel that's a real like underrated game. I mean, even though you know what I mean, even though certain characters, you know, are incorporated in certain like, you know, fight games like, you know, Capcom versus SNK and what have you, but for the most part, yeah, it's really yeah, man, I can see that being done in the I guess in the spirit of The Witcher in terms of like supernatural creatures and monsters and what have you. But if anything, I would totally want, since he is kind of a, you know, I guess you can say a real like director, a horror director aficionado, Guillermo del Toro. I'd you know, have him either produce it or, you know, direct, one or the other.
Have him write it.
You know, I mean, because that fits the criteria for sure. And I guess in terms of like the story, you know, the focus would be on Donovan, the you know, the vampire hunter with the extra fucking ridiculous sword. Like, you know, call him the Buddha vampire hunter. I know, never seen one of those before. Never seen a monk vampire hunter. But anyway, that's new. But yeah, I guess having him on his on his journey to, you know, vanquish any sort of you know, supernatural evil, since, you know, him in part has that dark power himself. I could actually see him, like, maybe the story would start out like, you know, same deal. He's a drifter, wanderer, you know, helps those in, you know, in need, no different than Kenshin.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he, you know, stumbles upon like this little girl who also has like a, you know, a very, you know, powerful force. I think her name Anita, the special little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, she's being chased down by, you know, all sorts of like mythical creatures, like, you know, maybe you know, maybe one of the favorable characters, maybe the undead samurai cat, who has like the monster like in his chest and shit. And you know, he vanquishes that, and then they realize that, you know, they have sort of well, obviously they have a mutual bond. It's like, hey, I'm dark, you're dark, want to wander the world together? Sure. Yeah. And then, you know, of course, they're admitted to this like task of I mean, well, the main source for him obviously is like the #1 vampire, which is Dmitry Maximov, who's definitely probably one of the most baddest, or actually the baddest vampire in like video game history.
Right.
He's ridiculously strong. So yeah, I would say, yeah, him be the objective of the hunt, and you know, also have like some guidance along the way in the form of I don't know if you remember the twin sisters. You know, one of them is kind of a Chinese zombie.
And,
Haisenko.
Was it Hosenko or something like that?
Yeah, in Melee. Yeah. So like they could be their guides, you know, obviously, because you know that's them, you know, that's their forte, and you know, and they can be the protectioners of like the great evil, which would be Pyron, who's now, like #1.
What about Lilith and Morgan?
Oh no, definitely incorporate them too. I mean, because
Morgan would be a big part of that.
Yeah. Because I mean, really, she's kind of like a hand for Dimitri, even though she has her own purposes. Obviously, like, you know,
she's a succubus stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Using.
Now, how would you fit characters like Felicia and Queen Bee in it, and Baby Bonnie Hood and shit like that? All those crazy characters.
That's what I was just thinking that, because Felicia was probably one of my favorite characters.
BB Hood was mine.
Queen Bee is weird looking because she's like half bee, half woman.
Truly. Oh no, she's all kinds of like, you know, out there, man.
So would you kind of go crazy with the special effects, like practical effect look, how they did with Killer Croc and Suicide Squad, or would you go full CGI? What would you do?
Well, I'd say half and half, because certain ones can be done. Like, okay, if you got Victor Frankenstein, yeah, you can easily just mock him up in some sort of like prosthetic makeup. Sure, no problem. Get you a big, you know, Broly kind of character. And you know, just give him a hell of a makeup job. Yeah, other characters that are like that would obviously like need CGI purposes, like the Sasquatch, for example. You need to CGI that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, you really do.
And friggin' Pyron, forget it. That's a CGI guy. You need him. You need that. So definitely for those. But in terms of like meeting the characters, I would just say, hey, it's a passing through deal. Like, you know, this guy's a traveler. He runs into crazy shit every day. So naturally, on cases that he's in, if you want to call them cases, you know, he'll meet the occasional Darkstalker. He'll run into Felicia. He'll run into John Taliban. Maybe they'll be friends. Maybe.
That's my homie. I was waiting for you to say that. I'm like, yeah.
So he's kind of like the Winchesters in Supernatural.
I was actually just about to bring them up. Read my thoughts. Yes, exactly like that.
Cool.
Yeah,
nice.
For sure. And in terms of Donovan, now again, just spitballing, of course. I'm thinking like with the proper training and like non-stop gym etiquette, I would say maybe Tom Huddleston, maybe for Donovan.
Okay.
You know, interesting. Nice.
Wait, can I ask a question real quick? Who would be the main bad? Would it be Dimitri or Jeddah? Because Jeddah's fucking, you know.
Oh, Judah?
You know, honestly, in terms of the first movie, I definitely want to give Dimitri the shine there. Give him the shine. You know, save the worst for last. You know what I mean?
And you would put Jeddah at the next, or
Yeah, I would do it in this order. Like 1 is Dimitri, 2 is Pyron, 3 is Jeddah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Assuming we get a trilogy, yes.
Ooh, I can see that. I'm with it.
Right?
What I can't see though, you
is you.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about it. One of my wheels popped off.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm gonna put a funny picture in post, yo.
Yo, just use his Roundhouse picture. Like, that's it. Perfect. Nice that.
Yeah.
All right. So is that all?
Yeah, that's it for me. Yep.
That's it.
All.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hey, who would you get to direct it?
Oh,
no, he said Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah.
Oh, the king of horror himself.
Exactly, man. When it comes to creatures, get that guy.
So you would make it more of a horror?
Then that second Hellboy was garbage.
Yeah, you would make it more horror?
Well, it is a goth horror game.
Yeah. I mean, you know, just think of it as Blade 2, but like with more at stake.
And better accents.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. And no waste of Donnie Yen.
Blade 2,
No vampires killed Donnie Yen in this one.
All right, man. All right, man. With no nickname, you're next.
So of course, originally I would say The Last of Us, but we're getting a series. Yeah, we're getting a series for that. So
go get him, Pedro.
Just gonna have to wait and see how that comes out. I hope they do a really good job. I think the director's supposed to be the guy from that did the Chernobyl series. So
yes, which is a really good series.
That was fire.
I'm down for it.
HBO Go.
And then so I don't know. I was thinking about it, and you know, even though it's basically also a movie in itself, I would probably want to see. It's more recent, so I'm not going old school. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That it would basically be like Avatar, and I would definitely get James Cameron to do it.
Nice.
Oh wow!
All right, the big guns. Okay.
If you're gonna go all the way, you're gonna go all the way with this movie because it has, you know, the greenery, it has that futuristic, you know, feel to it, but then it also has like the old school vibes because everyone's all primitive again.
You would almost have to get James Cameron for this movie.
Exactly.
Like because
it's fit for him.
Yeah, the scenery and everything like that.
The scenery, the freaking the tech dinosaurs and shit. Come on, bro.
The history of what happened to humans.
I would want to see that. Like, I would want to see how the world like shut down.
How the world went to shit, basically.
Yeah, like I would want to see how the world shut down, and then just like time progressed, and then it starts off with her. Like it shows her doing her thing, and then it just obviously goes through the first game.
So like, I can kind of imagine it, like during the opening credits or something like that. You can it'll kind of go through quick visions of how the world kind of slowly went into chaos and shit.
Yeah, like the world goes into chaos. The world basically ends, and then people are just starting over, mad primitive because the machines took over.
So would you tell the story? Would you tell the story through Eloy's supposed mother?
No, it would be through Aloy completely.
Yeah, he did the main character.
If you're telling it before she's born.
No. So just the very beginning of it would show what exactly happened to the world itself, because this was years, not just like 5-6 years after the world ended. It was like years and years. Like people are talking about like stuff that happened in the past when there was actual buildings and stuff around. Yeah, so that's what you'll see. You'll slowly see. It's basically like you'll hear what's happening in the background, but like you see the world slowly rotting and then coming back to its, you know,
kind of like someone narrating during like opening credits, and then you're seeing the vision of the whole thing happen.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you skip like, you know, the flashback scenes that you were to see throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? You skip that until you get to like the part where she gets into the that chamber where she turns it on. She gets to see some of the messages from people that left them behind, like her mother and stuff like that.
Right, but I would say you could call her a mother, but the thing is, it is her mother in a way, but it's like, I guess, reincarnated, I guess, if you want.
Yeah,
because she was born like way into the future, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All this is way in the future. So when you're watching the buildup of the movie, it's literally just basically showing a time lapse from how we are now to like the deserts and all that crazy shit that they have now.
Yeah, because it's in the 31st century. Like, come on now.
Yeah. So. But her mother was a big part of it going to shit.
Yeah, because she was part of the creation of the machines.
That's what I mean. So you would show it, but would you tell it from her perspective of like seeing how she saw the world and then going off and seeing?
You would get a little bit of that. So basically, when she goes into that chamber, you get a flashback of it showing as like her mother is like talking to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's like, oh, this and this happened and blah blah blah. So you see all that chaos, and then it goes right back into what's going on now.
Because I know in some like if someone else were to get this movie or something like that, they'd almost take that opportunity to basically present the mother as a villain.
Yeah,
I mean, because since she was a part of the whole everything going to shit anyway. So
I mean, technically she kind of was a villain if you want in the game. Like if you like, it's
in a sense, yeah.
It's some of her fault. It's some of her fault.
No, well, it is her fault.
I said some. I said some, not all. I ain't gonna put it all on her, but some.
That bitch did it. So, wow, that's interesting because that's almost rebuilding everything. That's almost like green screen worthy. Everything.
Yeah.
Or would you kind of do it like a half and half?
It would be like a half and half. Like I would do
like you go to New Zealand for like big landscapes and shit.
Exactly.
Got you. And go to and then go to the London hangar or something like that. And get all the green screen shit.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what.
Or do that Mandalorian shit when they got the screen. How they got the screen, the video screen and shit.
You don't have to go to New Zealand for that, really. Would you?
I'm just making.
I'm just
saying like something like that.
New Zealand's always the spot to shoot at.
For that type of greenery and scenery, New Zealand is like the place to be.
I mean,
for real. Actually, they're shooting Avatar in New Zealand right now. There's a bunch of movies being filmed in New Zealand right now.
Xena and Hercules was filmed in New Zealand.
Because of that scenery. That scenery is fire.
New Zealand is like the ultimate game of social distance. That place is so big, you'll never see anybody.
I mean, I would shoot.
Game of Thrones was out there too, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
I would shoot in Appalachian Mountains, like in that area for the movie, for parts of the movie.
So I would incorporate the DLC as like a piece of like, just her journey, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it being after the fact,
right?
You're getting all this stuff, all the training, and then you get like some snow stuff, and then it goes back down to like complete the story.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Solid.
I would definitely try to put it into 2 hours, but that probably would have to be almost 2.5.
That's a.
No, that's. I mean, 2.5. You would expect it, yeah.
2.5.
Name one James Cameron movie that's 2 hours.
Oh, Terminator.
Well, you're also trying to fit a 12-hour game into a 2-hour time frame.
There's a lot.
So a lot of it is just gonna. A lot of the movie is literally gonna be training montage.
I mean, well, no, because then you can focus on Eloy. You can focus on the other guy. The what's the black dude's name? I forgot his name.
Go ahead.
The guy that happens to be the fucking villain.
Well, we don't know he's a villain until later on.
That nigga's the villain.
But he's also following. Well, he's in control of computers. So, well, yeah. But he's also training her too. So he's also like,
yeah, he's training her, but he's like training her like, yes,
yeah. So
it's falling into my plan.
yeah,
Because even at the end credit scene when they showed it, they showed him doing some sneaky shit, and you're like, I fucking knew he was an asshole, bro.
Knew it.
Yeah, we don't even know how long he's been.
I would get the actual character to play him. What's his name?
I forget, but he could play himself.
He could play himself. I think it was the concierge in John Wick.
Yes, he was.
Oh,
that's who played him.
Oh, what's the name? Siren or whatever in that movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lance Fredericks, I think. I will consult the Google.
Who would I get to play Aloy? I would go with either Scarlett Johansson or Jennifer Lawrence.
Ew.
Ooh.
Very interesting.
Why not Becky Lynch?
What?
Why not drown
Becky
yourself?
Lynch.
Nah, definitely not. I mean, because of the red hair, yeah, cool, but everybody you could put red hair on
You
everybody.
can put red hair on anybody.
Don't look right on certain people.
ScarJo.
I mean, that's right. You're definitely right about that.
Like
I
you
mean,
said,
for the role itself, I mean, that's who I can see.
Yeah, you said Jennifer Lawrence. I don't
Yeah.
see her. I don't see her being.
Hell yeah! Just because of Hunger Games.
So Wednesday.
Nah.
So Wednesday. Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick, yeah. I said it like.
Okay, you did. No, you did. Okay. I was just making sure because you were consulting. I was just making
making sure. And I reported.
I mean, if you're basing it off what she did in Hunger Games, I guess okay.
Yeah, she was pretty active in that.
You said Scarlett
Yeah,
Johansson.
she needs a job.
Don't need no money. Anyway.
Truly.
I said money. I said a job.
Don't need a job neither.
She's an actor. She needs a job.
Man, please.
Can't just sit on her ass.
Exactly.
Nah,
Disney money don't last that long.
Nah, she's been sitting on her boyfriend's ass.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, even tag team had to do a Gecko commercial.
If you're one, I'm a little jealous.
Sprinkles! Kidding. No.
Geico.
Oh, thank God they're working.
Yeah.
I feel bad now. Sorry.
So that's your ultimate thought for what you would want.
Yeah.
For that movie, for that to be a movie. Awesome.
Definitely.
Okay. Mine is actually
your turn.
Yes, mine is actually
yes.
fairly recent. It's not too recent, but it's had like three games and one really bad one after the 3 games. I would do Mass Effect.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
That would actually be
really.
I would do Mass Effect. I would get either J.J. Abrams to do it, or the guy. Oh God, I wish I can. I wish there was a. Oh no, or I get the person who did. What's that other movie? Serenity.
Josh Whedon.
Yeah,
oh, he did.
You wouldn't want Josh.
Oh, did he do the movie?
You didn't want
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want Josh.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't.
Never mind. I don't want that nigga. No.
You don't want Josh.
You will. Just that everybody.
What you do is you can do James Gunn.
Bang bang.
I could.
Or the Russo brothers.
That's
I
true.
could that too. You know what? No, I'll stick with James Gunn. Only because with all these fucking different style of characters, he works well with.
That's true.
Good point.
And there's every single one of them have like different personalities and stuff like that. And it's kind of I'd almost have it done the way I'm trying to think of a movie that was similar to this game, but it's not coming to mind. What you say? No. This movie wasn't that similar to that.
I was gonna say we're not gonna say Event Horizon, are we?
No.
Okay,
don't
good.
talk about that movie.
All right, good.
That movie fucked me up.
No, but how I would do it is that because
like
I know a shit ton of people would do CGI for this thing.
some of the
A
characters.
lot of the creatures I would do a lot of prosthetics and practical effects and animatronics. I'd kind of like add that into that. And I do some CGI, of course. You know, you got to do the space shit and all that other crap.
Well, even certain characters would have to be CGI a little bit.
Depends. It really does depend.
Would you take it back old school and do the whole costume thing?
I just said that, like practical effects or animatronics and stuff like that. Because I feel that it's like an art that's been so left behind. Like, especially when Star Wars used it, and they still do to this day. And why not use it in a movie like this? This would be perfect.
Correct.
Yeah. It has all these different, especially like Garrus. Like Garrus is the dude, yo.
So this would be your new. So you would be making a new. What's the word I'm looking for? Sci-fi.
A new sci-fi fanatic thing. Yeah, I would.
And you're ready to be compared to Star Wars. Because that's what everybody comes to and be like, oh.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is why I choose Mass Effect. Mass Effect has its own fandom.
Right.
That has that doesn't have to be compared to Star Wars because it has things that are similar to all different kinds of sci-fi movies and elements of different things. You know, and they have better characters in this than Star Wars. That's just me saying that.
Yeah, I mean, so characters with more depth into them.
Like, come on, what's his name?
So you won't have a character that's going to yell for 3 movies the same person's name, right?
No.
Okay.
I will not.
I'll watch it. Then I'll watch it. Or you're not gonna make somebody pretend like this person's not supposed to be a lead in the movie and then like sideline them, right? You're not gonna.
No, I wouldn't do that. But here's the thing: like this movie would have the elements on how was it Captain America Winter Soldier is very espionage-y. You're a bitch. I hate you, Cedric. He said you're Star Wars. I mean, he's a fucking idiot. Basically, it has the elements of having the whole espionage thing because it has Cerberus and the Shadow Brokers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it also has that Star Trek feel and that Star Wars feel all at the same time.
How would you incorporate the choices that you make throughout the game?
Hell yeah.
Here's how I incorporate it.
Versions of the movie.
Here's how I'd incorporate it. I'd incorporate it within the different characters that he has with him.
Okay.
You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of these group-based movies, they always have these arguments and shit like that about, you know, a certain mission or a certain person or something like that. And they always have those 1 or 2 people that always meet with the protagonist throughout the movie. And depending on how the filmmaker wants the movie to go, they'll choose that certain character who made that one choice and go along with that. Or they'll flip it and go with that and then see that was the worst idea they could make. And then they'd have almost a split fight with the other person and, you know, shit like that. So it can be done with in that style. This fucking game had a lot of DLCs. It had so many DLCs, I don't think I'd be able to fit them in one movie.
Probably not.
Well, number one, I would definitely not do it because the Mass Effect movie that I'm making would be the first Mass Effect. game. Where just like how Sir Wednesday was talking, he would build the world in the first movie, and then kind of I'd take a page out of his book, but instead of making it a complete series after like a TV series after the first movie, I do the 3 movies, but I do a TV show that happens during that basically happens during the 3 movies.
So you want to tie it in? You want to pull the Agents of Shield?
Yes, I would. But it will be canon. It'll be canon. It'll be canon.
It was canon until they shot them niggas out the cannon.
I know.
Fucking
I know. But that's what I would do. So that way.
That shit is trash, dog.
Show us great.
That shit is trash. No, my thing is, I would hate some shit like that to happen. What was it? What was it? Quantum. What was that game that was
Quantum Leap?
Quantum Break.
No.
A Quantum
Break. It was supposed to have the show that like coincided with the game,
and it never happened.
Never happened.
That's bad.
I think that would be such an epic fail. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way it is like. You know, you try to make the story, the TV show canon, and then it's like, oh, so is this supposed to happen? And you're like, and I think it only works for like cartoons and shit.
No, because I'm not gonna do the show while the movies are going on. That's the thing.
No, I know that.
And plus like the show can even go with a different character also.
That would make more sense.
That's what I mean. I'm not gonna do
that would make more sense.
I'm not gonna do Shepard in the TV shows. No, I'll do like another character within the group or something like that.
Or you can do a TV show with Shepard and do it like the fucking like we said it before, like the Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. Kind of like
so you can actually choose what you want to happen.
Right.
Or even have a special version of the movie when it drops on like DVD. You can choose, your shit.
Because like the funny thing is, and now has almost everybody, I'm sure Sokka hasn't played a Mass Effect though.
Unfortunately.
I mean, I thought it was trash, but okay.
What you said?
I said I thought it was trash, but okay.
All of it?
I didn't like it at all.
Wow. Okay, but you've played it, so you know the whole thing of how you got to choose certain characters like Fate, right?
Yeah.
And that would be the next thing that I would kind of deal with, because I do like how they did that with Black Mirror, how you can kind of choose your own destiny type thing. But thinking about it in the long run, that's a lot of work, because that means you're just reshooting the same scene with a different person after that.
Yeah.
And then redoing different paths in the movie. And so I personally wouldn't do it the Black Mirror way. How I would do it is that the person who basically was chosen in the movie would be a story told within the TV series. It would follow that character. So let's just say I chose Ashley Williams to be in the movie with Shepard, and everybody knew that Caden is the one that died in the first movie. Caden would actually like somehow survive whatever happened, and then the first season would be about his story during the basically the first movie or something like that. And so on and so forth, because they don't have a lot of characters that are like that, but just certain characters, kind of like how the Mandalorian is doing kind of like books or chapters of different Mandalorian characters, sort of like something like that. Because they got the Book of Boba Fett coming out.
Can't wait.
And then they got Din Djarin with this one, and I'm sure they're gonna do a Bo-Katan one. So,
and that's about it.
Yeah. So so basically, it would be something like that. But going back to
I'm sorry, because when I was like, that's about it, because there's so much drama going on.
And it's drama that I don't really give a fuck about because I don't really care. But
shit.
But the reason why I would really love to do a movie like this, especially the very first one, is it's just the all out scenery and the complex storylines that are with the complex side stories that are within the main story. To me, in the Mass Effect games, the side stories were better than the main story. That's just me, because the main story was just all like, okay, apocalypse is coming in the form of Reapers. Okay.
Or Superman coming?
You stupid.
Shut out your mouth.
But like, yeah, characters like Garrus and Liara and Tali and stuff like that, those would be cool designs to see in live action. And like characters like Miranda Lawson, I would literally get the same exact actress who played her in the game.
Facts.
Because why not? People associate her face with that character.
Yeah, I mean,
if you got somebody different,
that's a good selling
point. Mind.
That's a good selling point for the movie too.
It would be kind of like with the whole beef with the Solo movie. That guy doesn't look like Harrison Ford. Like, you got some relatives you want to fucking audition? Shut the fuck up. You got a clone machine that you can go back and get Harrison Ford from back in the day? Kiss my ass.
Harrison Ford don't even want to get Harrison Ford to be in Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but Harrison Ford wanted the nigga to die in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Right. And like, what's him called? The character Joker in this is done by Seth Green.
Oh, how what?
The guy, the character Joker, he's a guy who like basically is a paraplegic. What the fuck? That's a weird angle. He's a paraplegic basically, so like he can't walk, and it's basically a character that's done by Seth Green.
I have a question. How can you be a paraplegic in the future?
Paraplegic?
Yeah, like they make shit.
Yeah, bro, that's wilding out when they fucking got James.
Don't ask me, bro. I don't know.
Like in the future, everything is like, oh, they like we have prosthetic stuff now, but in the future it's like way better. So I'm like, how can you
niggas still handicapped?
Still, like, how can you in the future and in space? How can you still be like that?
Exactly.
Why is Jake Sully in a wheelchair? And they're gonna go steal this random material for another fucking planet, but yet they got technology to put you in a different body. Assholes.
Exactly my point. Like, or you can't make me another arm and leg to walk and shit.
And like the whatchamacallit, the elusive man is Martin Sheen and shit. He's basically the voice of Martin Sheen and the likeness of Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
He's super old.
Yeah, he is. That's what happens, when you age.
But I can still use him because all he does is sit in the chair and smoke cigarettes. So
like that's like almost every old man.
No, but I feel that like under the guise of thank you for mentioning what's named James Gunn. Under the guise of like James Gunn and stuff like that, I think this would be really good. Like maybe
Guardians of the Galaxy, bro.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
But it'd be like James Gunn. I mean, James Gunn would direct it, and I'd get like maybe what's his face, JJ to produce it.
That's a good tag team.
Yeah, you can't go wrong when you got those two put together.
No, you really can't. Yeah.
Now the one issue is the main character. Who would I get to play Shepard?
Would you get to play Shepard?
Jason Statham.
Just cause.
Why? Because he's bald.
Just to see him in space,
That's true. Have we not seen him in space? We've seen him in The Name of the King, which he shouldn't have belonged there in the fucking first place.
Hey,
like he's in this? Why? But yeah, Jason Statham in space. We should be. I'll be down with that.
The Fast and Furious family is gonna go there any fucking way, so doesn't matter.
Now, would you want him to get a voice coach to sound more American or keep his voice?
Nah, he keeps the voice.
Keep his voice?
He keeps the voice.
Okay.
You might as well ask this nigga to do a Christian Bale Batman voice. Of course.
It's true. It's true.
Just make it more exciting.
Only certain UK actors can do a good American voice. Certain ones. Not all of them.
It'll just really be like Redbeard's dad when he shaved his mustache. Who are you, strange man? Why are you in my house? Oh, my father. Never seen him without a mustache. It'll be like that, but with his accent. I'm Jacob. What the fuck?
Yo.
Did you see me in the transporter? Weird.
All right, quick highlights on the news lately. Spider-Man just got an official title.
Finally.
The Spider-Man movie.
After how many? What they had like 4 different ones. What were they? Because I only saw like I think 1.
They were Spider-Man Phone Home.
I saw that and I was like, what the hell is that?
It was Homewrecker.
Spider-Man Homewrecker.
Really? That was a thing.
No, but those were fake. Those were real.
Those were jokes.
But yeah, the new one is called
last movie.
What?
What about Spider-Man and Better Be Better than the last movie?
Oh, really? Oh man, you didn't like the last one?
I saw it 3 times. I thought, you know what? Maybe I was tired, and I watched it again. I'm like,
really? I enjoyed that one.
Because you know what it was? Because I loved Homecoming so much, and it took me a minute to watch Homecoming, and I watched it, and then I'm like, now that I watched it, let me go watch Far From Home, and I watched Far From Home, and I'm like, nope, same.
But see, now you know what? Now that they're saying, oh yeah, the Spider-Man, the Spider-Man 2 movie is like 8 months after WandaVision. It's like, fuck. Now after watching this, I have to watch fucking this movie again. I don't know. But yeah, they got an official title. They officially brought it out there. So
when is it? It's December, right?
Yeah, Christmas, around Christmas time.
That'd be a nice gift.
Hey, Gambit.
Oh shit.
Let's see. We already know about the Mortal Kombat movie, of course. Can't wait for that shit.
Yes, we do.
Tom and Jerry is Saturday. Friday.
Tom and Jerry.
Oh yeah, the Tom and Jerry movie.
Tom and Jerry.
And then we got the Godzilla and King Kong movie coming out in a couple months.
When the hell is that?
Hooray, said Zoidberg.
That was the best Godzilla impersonation I could do right now.
Yeah. That was by far.
I thought you were blowing it off like, yeah.
All right. That's gonna be my blow off.
Roundhouse says he doesn't like it.
Roundhouse, you like it?
That's a no by Roundhouse.
Oh, so it comes out just before Mortal Kombat, March 31st.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Ooh. Music by Junkie XL.
Nice.
So what do you think about the title's name is No Way Home?
No Way
Dig it.
He's gonna get stuck inside some
honestly,
other dimension, bro.
It makes sense.
Well, he has. I think he might get stuck in another dimension because I think they're gonna bring him over to the Sony one.
And then that gets tied into
Venom.
Strange.
I think it's a little bit more than just the different time things, because one, he can't go home because he's a fugitive. He's
out
a murderer.
So
he can't go home because it'll put Aunt May in danger.
I think that's gonna be absolved in like
he's already in danger.
Minutes.
So he can't go home, and Aunt May right now she's pretty much the one in danger at this point too, and he's everybody that he's in.
Oh, his friends too.
His friends, he can't go home because if they know, they said dude said Peter Parker's name, and if you're his girlfriend, his aunt. Even if Tony was alive, Tony, you know what I mean?
Tony wouldn't care.
And he outed himself as Iron Man.
He really did. Like, you think it would matter to him? Like,
no, it wouldn't matter. But I'm pretty sure if Tony was there, it would have cleared it up. But at the same time, it's like,
well, that's what Matt Murdock's for, dude.
They're framing him as a murderer. So there's, that's a level because you think now he's a murderer, right? So now he's on the same.
That's a good point, Caesar.
Same level as Wanda.
This is the case.
She was supposedly a murderer too because she killed those people in Lagos.
Well, I mean, no, she is a murderer. That's a difference.
Yeah,
it was an accident.
It was an accident, but it was still murder.
Yeah, but hold on. That being what she did in Africa was an accident.
Yeah, it was.
What Peter did, they saying Peter killed this dude.
Well, this dude set him up with the
right
hip hop.
Right. What happened in Lagos wasn't seen by a bunch of cameras. The aftermath of what happened was saw by cameras. But what Peter supposedly did is on camera and blasted in New York on big screens everywhere. It's a difference. There's a huge difference.
Yeah, but to the public's eye, a murderer is a murderer.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they got the
left like the cha-cha style. But you wouldn't choke all those people.
I was gonna say.
Wait, one at a time. What's going on?
I said all Wanda had to do was slide to the left like the cha-cha slide. She wouldn't have killed all those people. No explosion.
Or she could have just threw him all the way up.
That's what she did, but he exploded at that point. That was the problem. So if she went to the left, even though it exploded, it wouldn't have got the building.
She's trying to contain an explosion and she couldn't really.
Yeah. It's not like she was something that she did like in the past. Hey, let's continue.
But yet she's keeping up a hex.
Yeah, well, power to grow. What you about to say, Black Caesar?
Yeah. Say it, Caesar.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you're gonna have like believers and like non-believers of like, Spider-Man's crime.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I mean, for one thing, he's got a good defense attorney, which I mean, I know a lot of people thinking it's most likely going to be Matt. I mean, I know people were throwing like She-Hulk in there, but like, nah, they're saving her for a show. So
didn't they confirm him as a cameo in there?
Yes, it is.
That's what I heard.
Wait, that what?
They confirmed Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock in the new Spider-Man movie.
Did they?
Not as Daredevil, as Matt Murdock.
Which is different.
Daredevil. They'll saddle up with that shit later with DD, but yeah. Man, which I mean, I did hear also that it was gonna like lead into his own like movie or series, which would be phenomenal. But,
it's well deserved.
Indeed. I mean, also another thing, I mean, Doctor Strange could just easily like, do the mind wipe. I mean, I know it's a Charles Xavier move, but yeah, I mean, that's an idea, that's a possibility.
But that's too easy, right?
Yeah, way too simple. Too simple.
It would be okay, so the mind wipe thing could possibly work.
Yeah.
The problem is that broadcast was broadcasted in New York, not only just at 34th Street, Times Square. So not only did all of New York see that, but the entire government saw that shit. So if he's gonna mind wipe, he can mind wipe all of New York maybe, but I don't know about the entire world.
Well, if he uses the antenna, it should go wherever the broadcast goes.
Right. But then also another interesting fact, right? I mean, I'm sure y'all probably heard about this. Like the Illuminati apparently is supposedly going to be in Doctor Strange too. So that's, again, long shot. If Xavier happens to make an appearance, and that's when like, it's like, hey man, if you could do me a favor, this kid's kind of in a, shit show. Could you possibly like, the thing with the mind?
He can honestly use Cerebro and wipe everybody's memory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that'll happen? He'll get a nosebleed and then he'll wake up like 2 hours later.
What if what if he's using Cerebro for everybody to not think of mutants?
Well, I mean, that would be a good explanation of why they don't why no one's heard of them. It's an idea.
But we're supposed to be introducing to some some mutants in Doctor Strange 2, but the main one is supposed to be the Eternals. It's supposed to be really.
Well, the Eternals are the reason for mutants.
Yeah.
They're pretty much like
they're going to explain the mutants, like mutants being in.
They're the catalyst.
Yeah. They're the salt bays of the mutants.
Supposedly,
the Salt Bay.
Supposedly, it's looking pretty good. Like Eternals is looking pretty good. Like that.
Looks good to me so far. Yeah, and that's just the promo.
Facts.
Yeah, I dig it. Looking forward to it if it ever comes out. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait for an eternity.
What about that other mutant movie that they were supposed to come out? That was like a horror. Did they push that back?
The New Mutants? Oh yeah, that came in. Oh yeah, that came
and went.
Really?
Yeah,
that doesn't exist.
The New Mutants got old real fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Safe go.
But anyway, thank you guys for watching our episode this evening. We really did enjoy you guys. I really did enjoy that little thing that we did with the question. It was kind of cool. You guys had some really good ideas. I actually wished all of these movies would come out.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Please, nobody will make God hand. They just fuck it up.
You never know, dog. People need something.
Somebody might be as passionate as you one day. Maybe.
It can happen.
If they were passionate. What's that?
Oh man, don't make me
write a script and send it to Ryan Reynolds if you feel that passionate about it.
Exactly.
Man, movie or series, it can go either way.
Look at that.
Yes.
I mean, Deadpool.
Captain Deadpool.
Yeah. But if you guys like this video, please drop a like. It does help support us, you know. Throw those comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. And also make sure you visit Roundhouse's Twitch. Every Friday he does the fight night with fighting games, and throughout the week he's doing either Division or something on either Xbox or PlayStation.
Call of Duty this week.
Anything else?
Yes.
And you can catch us on these platforms, all right? Cheer.
Yeah.
That's right. What did you say?
I said behold platforms.
Oh God.
I like
and
right there.
Oh my God.
What the?
Wish I could see you right there.
Yeah, truly. So blurry.
I'm focused, man.
I'm gonna send you that link,
man.
To fix that focus.
I'm focused, man.
I found it.
You can also catch us on our telephone number at 973-370-3115.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has Dave called the
Not yet. Not yet. I'm waiting.
Yo, we definitely gotta fucking do a voicemail, because I don't think we did one. We were trying to do.
Just gave me the number and told me to run with it.
Yeah, like because what you got the day that we went to do the promos, I was like, shit, we should have did the number voicemail for that. Like, you've reached the true story, bro. Yeah, maybe we could fucking piece something together, you know, add it to it, so that way it's a little bit more like welcoming rather than you have reached 9-7. Yeah.
Well, maybe we will do that someday. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Join us next week. And also join us on Friday for WandaVision. Join us on Saturday for Saturday Night Nightmare. Join us on Mondays or Sundays for Bros at Ringside. Yeah, we got a lot of shit going on this week.
Yeah.
Love it, baby.
And we'll see you guys Friday. And then we will see everybody else next week. Peace. Bye.
Bye.
Lick ass.
Lick ass, really?
I don't like some gay shit to me.